Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is well. Welcome to London Calling Saturday Night Live. Cherry on top is in the house. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you very much for your VR. Very much appreciated. I still want to do one for yours. I have a joke in mind. I have to practice it though. But yeah, we'll get there. Hi Sam, how you doing? I see you're live on Art's channel. Can you please send everybody over here? Thanks, Sam. How do YouTube pipe community. I did see your video earlier, Hector. You did give me a shock. Yeah, we'll give people a chance to join. We'll do the drawing a little bit later. I'm not planning on doing an extremely long one tonight. I have a job in the morning, pretty much first thing. So I've got to be up around 8 AM, something like that. Yeah, we'll see how long we go. I mean, it's not going to be 5 minutes. It'll probably be about an hour or so, something like that. Something along those lines. But I can see that Meeks, good evening Meeks, hi, how you doing? How much do I need to bribe you to win? Simon, well, hi Morgan, thanks for joining. Well, we'll leave it up to chance, shall we, Tim? I know I still have to send you some London Calling. I do need to get some more Wallet Golden Sliced. I think I've got a tin still. Well, I've got two, I'll tell you a lie. I've still got the very old tin, but I'm not opening that. But I think I have a regular tin, one left. But I do need to order in some more. The last place I got them from was the Danish Pipe Shop. But of course, we can no longer buy from the good people at the aforementioned establishment. So I'll have to make other plans. Did I send it to you? No, no worries. Thank you very much. I thought I said I was going to send you some more. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. You know what I'm like. Far too forgetful. For my own good. So I've yet to decide what to smoke. I enjoyed a really, really lovely bowl of Christmas Cheer 2016 in the Bentley Pipe. Very, very tasty indeed. If I wanted to, I could eke out another few minutes in it, but it's been dead now for about an hour, so I'm not going to relight it. So it's really a question of a tobacco or a cigar. Now I've really been smoking more pipes recently. But well, no, it's not a problem, Tim. I can't give you what I don't have. But when I do a new, I have, to be honest, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I have a jar which I've put away, which I want to age. So in my mind, that's considered as not available. But I do want to do another fresh batch which I can enjoy and share out. So when that happens, you're on the list. And if I forget, do remind me. Don't feel bad about that. So who have we got? Pipes and Pictures, good evening, thanks for joining. Pipe Tree, hello Tree, thank you. And Ryan is in the house too. I just come across these nice jars. I was in Lakeland, the shop Lakeland, which is like a cookery shop to get all the supplies that you need, not the food, but the all the utensils. And so it's a chef's, not that I'm a chef, but it's a chef's dream to that shop. And I picked up these jars, and they're really cool. They're a nice size, they're perfect for 50 grams. And I've put a few together. These are on the way to the US in the near future. But I really recommend them. I think you get 6 for about £6, so about £1 each, which is really, really good. And the tobaccos that I ordered were from GQ Tobaccos, and they come in those plastic little. It's the bulk stuff, so you get the bags. So I just peeled off the sticker, and it really looks cool. You've abandoned Art's live. Sorry, Art. I did see that he was live. Pipe on the patio. How you doing? Did somebody say Steph? Is Steph in the house? Oh, hi, Steph. Enjoy your Tupperware party. Thank you very much, and thanks again for your awesome comments in your 2018 video. Very, very much appreciated. And Eric, the blue-collar pipe smoker, is in the house. Well, Eric, I'm still waiting for my tribute. I laid down the gauntlet, but presumably I'm just too complicated for you. You've met your match. It's coming, is it? 2 AM on the pipe. I missed the video where you spoke about this nickname, Onion. What's the significance of that? Yeah, Ryan, I got scared as well. He literally gave me a shock as I was watching it. Jonty Piper, how you doing? Jonty Piper, everybody. He's if you haven't subscribed to his channel, not a prolific uploader, but when he uploads, it's good stuff. He's just in the middle of, or rather finished, carving a pipe, a poker. Take a look. Dale Piper, good evening. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you for your VR. Actually, I'm going to do a quick readout of the list, because since my earlier video, I've had a few people message me that I missed them out. So there's about another half a dozen to go on the list, and we've jumped up to 25. So I'm quickly going to run that through. So at number 1 was Road Glide Sully. Number 2, Happy Go Lucky Piper. At number 3, Sweet Chicken. 4, Pipe and Tobacco. 5, Wolf Valley Boy. 6, Tobacco Pipes International. 7, Cherry on Top. At number 8 is Stephen, Cobbett of the Shire. Number 9 is The Tree. Number 10 is Harriet Herfer. Not Heifer, Art. Number 11 is Piper Hips. Number 12 is Mo Piping. Number 13, Andrew Sirigliano. 14, Dale Piper. I don't know why, whenever I say Andrew's name, it makes me try and put on an Italian accent. 15 is Sam. 16 is Curmudgeon Piper. 19 is Tallest Piper. First time I've seen his channel, and I'm now subscribed. 20 is Pipes and Spirits. And 21 is Quaker Piper Hector. 22 is Dance Dad Piper. 23 is Kevin Twiner. 24 is Four-Eyed Piper. 25 is Dublin Pipe. And Steph wanted to come in at the 11th hour and 59th minute, but I'm afraid time was too short. But I really, really appreciate you wanting to do it. Thanks very much, and enjoy your Tupperware party. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, spot on. Sweet Chicken has really become his trademark, and is, yeah. How do I get the username highlighted? What are you talking about, Meeks? Not with you. I've got a feeling that something's going on with my charger and it's not coming up as I've got the 20% warning. I hope it's charging. You all be safe out there. Absolutely. I'm just turning you on your heads, guys. Just hang on a second. Where are we? No, I'm just trying to see if it's charging, and I really don't know if it is. Well, if we go dead, I might have to go offline and switch over to the other phone. Jerry, good evening. Thank you for joining. Grandpa Boon's in the house. Sweet roller coaster ride indeed. Right. Star Trek moment. What's a traditional brand of Earl Grey tea? Pipes and Spirits, sorry for hitting your live this evening. A traditional brand of Earl Grey tea, the one I use is, I think it's Twinings, and that's what I'm drinking now. It's not Earl Grey tea, but it's strawberry and raspberry, which I have every so often, and it's really nice. No, it's not Tetley. Tetley's for breakfast. Spot off tea, old boy. Nestle? No. Tetley? Well, it's not really a Scottish accent, although it did sound it on Tetley. But Tetley is more like somewhere up the Midlands, I guess. But I'm not a very good. I don't do a good Midlands accent. It's not quite cherry. It's strawberry and raspberry. Twinings tea, and it's very tasty. Alright, so I'm just debating whether to have a cigar. Lancashire lad. Oh aye. Yorkshire tea's alright, I suppose, if you're in a bind. Just kidding, I'm sure it's good. Okay, so it's a Saint Louis Rey Exclusivo Espana. So it's a Spanish regional edition Cuban cigar. Saint Louis Rey, which is really nice. Or I was thinking of breaking out my own pipe once again. It really, really smokes well. I can see what's going to be happening here. I'm going to start carving my pipes, and I'm going to be selling all of these pipes. Well, not all of them. These are all the Mike at Briar Blues. The challenge tobaccos that he sent. So I'm thinking of having some of that. I have to say that Mike's been really generous, you know, sending out these tobaccos. Besides for the is it a tradition in London for afternoon tea? If you live or work in the square mile and you've got more money than sense, then yes. Well, that's not really fair to say more money than sense, but if you have plenty of money and you find yourself near the Ritz, then of course you have to take tea at the Ritz. Tea is not just tea, of course. It's scones and sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches, don't you know? Cucumber sandwiches and lovely patisserie and various other bits and pieces. I can't say that I've ever taken part, because I haven't. Curmudgeon Piper, good evening. Thank you for joining. Scones, yes, indeed. Yum. cigars. So what's the vote, people? Cigar or pipe? You have to cut the crusts off. You're absolutely right. Yeah, well, it was a good time to have it. Good timing, old boy, to have it in the afternoon. Afternoon tea. Good, good. What did you have with your tea today? Claridge's, of course. Sorry, I do apologise, Dale Piper. I'm sure. Real cucumber sandwich. Interesting. Pipe always. Cigar. Pipe. It's so like an afternoon beer. Cool. Always. Crumpets. Yes, 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 yes. Tiffin. All right. So we'll go for the peep. I think we're going to go with one of the blends that Mike sent. So I'll put them all in this jar. So this was B, which we're still waiting to know what it is. I can't remember what I said anymore. I think I said B was, no, I think I said C was the Escudo, and I think I said B was Navy Rolls. And this was the Escudo from '04. And I have to say that for me the B was the best, even better than the '04 Escudo. And to be honest, I haven't been a very big Escudo fan, and if it turns out that I'm right in what I identified, then it's probably because I didn't like it, and I probably just remember what I didn't like. So I'm going to go for the old Escudo. Still about a quarter of a bowl left. So this is from '04. And this is the 2015 McLennans that he sent in the first challenge, which I enjoyed to a reasonable extent. I think if I remember correctly, I found it a little bit missing something in the middle, but it was pleasant. Pleasant, easygoing blend. I've got no room left on my desk. Ridiculous. This has gotten really overboard. Look at, these are all the tins which are, and jars and stuff which I've been smoking. And it's kind of taken over, like, that whole right hand side of my desk. But I guess you guys have to have something to look at. Eric, you've got a beautiful little veranda, if you want to call it that, outside your apartment there. Put a couple of screens around it, give you a bit of protection, and you can smoke all year round. Can't use something as insignificant as the weather to stop you smoking a pipe, surely. Cheers, Jonty. Have a good one. Thanks, Pipe on a Patio. Did anybody say why you're called Onion? Did I miss a comment? Are you joking, Tim? Because it's very appropriate if it is true. Scroll up. I thought I must have missed it. Sorry for the silence. I'm just trying to see the comment. I can't see it. Alright, I'll have to check it back later. Austrian Piper, good evening. That's really interesting, Tim. Whenever I've done a search on London fog, I'm trying to remember. I have come up with something, and I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was that. I don't know. Yeah. So patio, I'm really happy with the way it came out. I learn something each time I do a pipe. And I also learn how way behind being a pipe carver I really am. There's so many, you know, each time you think that you've created a pipe or you've done something good on a pipe, you know, something's come out particularly nice, the grain, or perhaps it's particularly smooth. It's often like that when I buy a pipe as well. I'll buy a pipe which looks absolutely perfect, and then when you get it home you find little bits and pieces. And I'm generally okay with slight flaws. It's natural, you know, the wood is natural. I don't really have a problem with it. But it's really just, it's like everything in life, I guess. You know, nothing's perfect, but we do the best that we can. And I'm really happy with the progress so far, considering that this is after 4 or 5 pipes. I'm really happy with it. About the journey, not the destination, indeed. I'm going to have to do my best to keep this video relatively short. Perhaps an hour or so. As I've got a job in the morning. Anybody else who's seen the list who I've missed out? Anybody know of anybody? Has anybody else seen any VRs that I've missed perhaps? Yes, Art, I agree. Smoking. Yeah, so smoking this pipe is really, I'll be honest, there are other pipes that I've made, the other first few that I made, which I don't smoke very often. See your pipes on the patio, thank you very much for joining. Because they just didn't smoke that well. Hi, good evening, Downstairs Piper. I've added you onto the list. But this one, virtually from the first smoke, smoked very well. I smoked this the first time on the day that I went to Reading. You know the video I did about the shop there, Shaven Costa. I think that was the first time I smoked this pipe. And it smoked very well from the off. All good here, thank you. Hector, if you're still there, Where do you get your tobacco from nowadays? I assume you used to get some from Danish Pipe Shop, did you? I think I did see that video, Eric, if I'm not mistaken. Hi Josh, good evening. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Eric, you're definitely a talent. I don't know if you use some of that with your kids in school, but the way you pick up on people's peccadillos in how they speak, so it's not necessarily about the voice, but it's about those little unique signature types of sort of speaking, ways of speaking, which each person has. We all have our own kind of signature, and you pick up on them so well. Evening, Mitch. Doing well, thank you. I thought you did Stephen very well. You picked up on some of his idiosyncrasies in how he speaks very well. Cool, Hector. What's your brick and mortar like? How far away is it for you to go? My accent's a bit all over the place, to be honest. I've had people think that I'm from South Africa, and some people think that I'm from Australia. I'm a bit of a mishmash. Or a barrow boy, Cockney. That's really good, Quaker, Hector. Well, I guess you should be on X Factor next time, shouldn't you? No sweat, Ryan. Hope you're enjoying it. Why is it not available for you, Meeks? Actually, did I write Dublin Pipe on there? Yeah, it's number 25. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's really the only way to do it. You know, once we get past that stage of wanting to try everything, you know, when you know what you like, it's just worthwhile stocking up every so often, because you never know what tomorrow brings. and that's just the way to go. So far, two of the tobaccos that I've really enjoyed have gone away. Two of the brands, I should say. McClellan, and both of them I absolutely abhorred, not adored, abhorred. In the beginning, when I first started, I tried McClellan blends. I really didn't like them. I didn't like the Latakia ones, and I didn't like the Virginias. I first tried the Christmas Cheer 2014, which Cynthia and Susan sent me, Stutter. And as soon as I cracked the tin, just opening it really repulsed me, that vinegar ketchup-y aroma, which now I adore, but at the time I didn't like it at all. I'm just so glad that I didn't give it away, because at that stage, stuff that I didn't like I gave away, and I'm just really happy that I didn't give it away. I just put it away and left it there, and it was probably a couple of years before I tried it again. Boswell's gets a fair amount every so often of Samuel Gawith blends. And I'm sure Four Noggins gets it, and the other one. And by the time I got to enjoy McClellan's, they pretty much announced their demise. So I was lucky enough to manage to snatch up a few tins, and I then managed to get a few tins from what's his name? Lady Briar's husband. Well, they may not be there now, Ryan, but you have to, you know, be committed to it. I had the same when I was trying to get American blends, some of them, you know, like Penzance. Even though Penzance is technically made in the UK, we can't get certain blends. The Esoterica brands we can't get here. And in the beginning I worked really, really hard to get them, and I managed to get them once or twice, but I can't really get them anymore. If I really wanted to put the effort in, I suppose I could, but it's not that meaningful for me anymore. Art, I did see the beginning of your mooning video, but I, for whatever reason, had to do something else and stopped in the middle, so I haven't finished it. But it's actually something which used to be quite close to my heart. Probably about 10-15 years ago, I was quite heavily invested in astronomy. I was hooked on it. It was way, way before pipe smoking. And when I get interested into something, and I'm really interested, not just a fad, but I'm really taken with it, I really go into it deeply, usually, as I've done with pipe smoking and cigars. But at the time it was astronomy. I went through a selection of telescopes and binoculars. I still have one pair of binoculars, which was probably my first pair, and that's lasted the longest. A pair of Olympus 7x50s. And I got really hooked into it. I kind of combined my photography with it and did a bit of astrophotography. Managed to get a few attachments for attaching cameras to telescopes. and it was something which I really, really enjoyed big time. I was really quite used to finding things in the sky. I got quite familiar with constellations, with nebulae, with galaxies. The Andromeda Galaxy was one which I really enjoyed searching out. And I basically, you make signposts. As you become sort of familiar with it, you make signposts in the sky, in your memory. And it's just really interesting. I've forgotten a lot of it by now. I really haven't done much of it recently. And yes, Hector, weather is very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating indeed. And in London especially, it's virtually impossible to get a good sky, because London is basically enveloped in an orange hue from the lights, from the artificial lights of the town, of the city. But usually I had the most success when I went on holiday, when I went on vacation. We generally went to the countryside. And the kids also were quite fascinated, the ones that were older at the time. And we would just lie on the lawn and lie on our backs or on a deck chair or something like that. And we would just watch the sky. And usually during the summertime, it used to get lots of meteor showers. And the kids were fascinated by that, seeing this bright light zipping across the sky. It was good fun. I tried the automatic telescopes like the Meade ETX. Invested a fair bit of money in them, but I never got the hang of the ETXs, to get them to track automatically. I never managed to get them centered right and to line them up with the north and all of that stuff. I tried and tried and tried, but I never succeeded. So in the end I sold all of that stuff, and I bought a Teleview telescope, which is a refractor telescope rather than a reflective one. And the Televiews are already on a higher level of things, and the sharpness of those telescopes was phenomenal. Although it was handheld, well, on a tripod, but not motorized, it was still more enjoyable because the sharpness was phenomenal. I mean, I had 2 or 3 lens. I forgot what you call them now. The eyepieces. I had probably maybe a dozen eyepieces, but I had 2 or 3 which were my favorites, and I would always turn to them to get the best images. Every so often I do a search on eBay and see if there's any telescopes there, but very rarely do I see one. Every so often I do have a hankering to get back into it, but to be honest, it's so time consuming if you really do it. And the amount of times that you get good seeing here in London is so small, it's just not worth it. That's a good idea. I wasn't smoking a pipe at the time, Cherry. Smoking a pipe or a cigar was probably the furthest thing from my mind. Yes, Boris. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Yeah, it's true. Those late nights do give you some opportunities, because for normal human beings, at certain times of the year you can see certain things in the sky, but if you're up late, you can actually see stuff which is you would only see in a different season, because the sky is revolving, or the Earth is revolving, and you get to see constellations which you would normally see in a different season of the year. So at 3 in the morning you might see or 4 in the morning you might see a constellation which normally at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. you would see 6 months later or something like that. I think it would be a bit of a challenge to smoke a telescope. At least you could see what you're smoking close up. Oh, I did want to do the changes in your video as well, Cherry. I forgot about that. I did. I noticed a few of the changes. Well, I noticed one in particular without even trying, and I haven't really looked at the rest of it in detail. That's actually quite a cool challenge. I shall have to have another look at that. Kevin. How you doing, Kevin? Thanks for your video. You can see stars, yes, depending on what you're smoking, but you can see stars anytime if it's a clear night. It's the question is what else you can see. Most of the time, I did get to a stage where I could name planets without anything, with the naked eye, just by the colour and the size. But I can't really do that anymore. I do know that the brightest white one is usually Venus, and the very orange one is Mars, and something in between is Jupiter usually. It's probably flat because of all the hefty people stomping on it, I'd imagine. People like myself. So did any of you guys catch my video about old people driving? Got quite a mixed set of responses. Hector, I think you've led far too a hedonistic lifestyle. Prince Philip's accident seems like it was quite a heavy crash that you had there. Apparently one of the cars flipped over. Lucky to get out, really. My wife said she heard an interview of one of the guys who was first on the scene. He was very emotional when he was talking on the radio. He ran over to try and save a little baby that was in the car that flipped over. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a tough one because we don't imagine ourselves not being able to drive, and we don't want our freedom taken away. But sometimes you just gotta. I mean, I in most of my sort of chat videos in the morning, in most of my chats, I'm not really looking to. It could be, I'm sorry, I haven't seen it on the news or anything like that. I only heard it on the radio. I very rarely watch the news these days. Very, very rarely. I prefer listening to it on the radio. Thanks, Art. So I don't usually come to conclusions. I usually like to present the different arguments, and I like to see what the responses are and to get into a discussion. Sam, I did actually. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question fast enough. You're getting back to your old self. You see, I did watch your video. I appreciate your video, and I commented on the video as well. But if I didn't catch every single word, it's possible. Maybe I missed something. I'm usually listening to videos whilst I'm doing other things, to be honest. Why would I want you to go away? Yeah, so it's really about opening a discussion, and I thought the one of old people driving, or people being unfit to drive, having that ability, that facility taken away, it's certainly very real for some people, and Kevin there, gives you a very good example of that. My parents, for instance, although I didn't think of it at the time when I did the video, my parents both drive. They have a car, but my father is turning 80, all being well, but he doesn't like driving, and he won't drive on the motorway anymore. And he's kind of sort of self-supervising, and he's really restricting how much he drives, because he knows that he feels insecure with it. The Coniston plug was about £14, so do the math. £14 is going to be about $17–18 maybe. Let me see if I've got the app on my phone. XE. It's about $18, $18.50, something like that. Yeah, I guess, it's really hard for... yeah, absolutely. There should be plenty of people who are on the road who shouldn't be. I was driving just the other day and some geezer undercut me, swerved in and out of traffic, and was zipping down the road like a nutter. I think it's about finding the right balance. I wasn't trying to promote the idea of stopping people driving as such, but it's really promoting the idea of having some kind of rhyme and reason to it all. Whether it's to have people take another test to make sure that they are safe on the road for their own good, never mind other people obviously, but for their own good as well. And some people, they just won't accept sometimes what's good for them. And especially with the advent of mobile phones and constant connectivity to social media and things like that, so many times I'm driving along and you see drivers swerving from lane to lane without realizing it, obviously messing around with their phone and stuff like that. And I until a few months ago I was guilty of that myself, I must be honest. But nowadays, that's why I've got this the app that I use, that I don't have to retake videos the whole time. It's just one constant video, and I really do my very best not to touch my phone while I'm driving. Yeah, Hector, absolutely. More importantly for others, but I'm talking about from that person's own perspective. They should at least look at it for their own safety. Of course, for other people, but in the very least, if they're selfish people, they should be thinking about themselves. Their natural thing to do is to worry about other people first, but some people don't. But even those people should at least think about their own lives. Yeah, respect on the road is also a biggie. I do find, I've talked about this in the past, when you have a multicultural society, and this is no criticism on any culture at all, but when you have a mixture of cultures, they differ in their priorities, in their life priorities. And for some people, driving is just a means of getting from A to B, and they really don't involve themselves in whatever's going on around them. I don't mean that in terms of how they drive. They may well be aware of what's around them in terms of driving safely, but in terms of the etiquette and in terms of being gentlemanly and polite and thankful and respectful, for some people it's just not on their agenda. Drive on the autobahn, yeah. Grumpy old geezer, hi. Thanks for joining. That's actually something which has interested me. Looking at Tesla, I actually sat in one just the other day when we went shopping. In the shopping centre near us, in the mall, there's a Tesla dealership right in the mall, and they've got 3 cars there which you can sit in and play around with. They're all powered up. Obviously they can't drive, but everything else works. And they've got these huge screens, and I'm amazed that they're legal. You know, the amount of fiddling around you can do on those screens. I'm not sure that's an answer, right? That could even be a more of a distraction. Yeah, absolutely, Boris. I mean, I'd like to think that people are not deliberately being impolite. I think it's just... I think it's a matter of priorities in their lives. You know, some people are coming from countries, especially, you know, immigrants who are coming in from countries where they've had to struggle to survive, saying, hi Daniel, thanks for joining, you know, to worry about politeness and niceties and P's and Q's, you know, is so low on their radar of and list of priorities. I guess... Just give me half a sec, folks. And we are back. Sorry about that. Just saying good night to my daughter. Good evening, Harriet. The pipe with a white stem is a Moretti pipe. Nice little Dublin. with a white acrylic stem, and smokes very well. I smoke it fairly regularly, not as regularly as some of the other pipes. I've certainly got some pipes which are smoked more regularly, but I smoke that one reasonably often. It smokes very well. Hi Marsha. Kevin, Marsha's comment on your video was actually pretty much blew me away. Such a beautiful comment, really. So much love there between you. Yeah, it is a good pipe. I haven't smoked it as often as I might, I suppose. But you do tend to get into a bit of a groove when it comes to pipes. Alright, shall we get moving with the giveaway? Do I prefer straight or bent? Generally speaking, these days I prefer straight and slightly bent pipes. With the odd exception, but generally speaking, you know, this kind of thing is absolutely fine. This kind of thing, as long as it's not a full bent, but even, you know, I've got the odd full bent as well, a calabash here or there, but generally speaking, straight or slightly bent works best for me. I do tend to find that the fully bent ones very often are not drilled very well. Good night, baby Simon. What's with a baby? Or is it good night, baby? I am a child of the 60s, born in 1969. In fact, the summer of 69. Hey Josh, how you doing? Best of British, absolutely. So, do you want to see the prizes once again, or have you all seen that enough? The moisture is a bit of an issue with the bent pipes, yes, absolutely. So that's generally speaking why I'm 49, turning 50 in April. Big 50, absolutely. I'm turning 50 on the 7th of April. And my son is turning 13, both born on the same date. I remember his birth very well. I almost missed it. It was the best birthday present I suppose I could have gotten. My wife went in, trying to remember how that came about, whether I'd gone in with her and she was sort of hanging around not doing much and I went back to do something, or that she had gone in whilst I was away somewhere else. I don't remember what it was, but I was dashing into the hospital and I literally made it just a few minutes before the birth. Yeah, I'm just a pup. Alright, cool, Sam, nice. My oldest grandchild is 4, I think, 3 or 4. So that was really cool, having a child on your birthday. So at least I don't forget his birth date, right? Because I do forget the others, as my wife keeps on reminding me. But those are 2 dates I definitely don't forget. It is my wife's birthday and my son's birthday. And I also don't forget my oldest son's birthday because he was born just shy of a year after we were married. So we got married on the 17th of October, and I think he was born on the 14th of October. So literally 3 days less a year. The oldest grandchild is 15, wow. You don't look a day over 21, Harriet. My favourite type of tobacco, wow. That's a good question. It changes. Currently, and has been for the last year, has been vapors, Virginia Periques. What have you been trying out so far, Daniel? How long have you been smoking? You say that you're a new smoker. How long you been smoking for, Daniel? Nice one, Kevin. We're practically twins. Get it? Yeah, so 8 months. 8 months when I was... hi, Mike. Good evening. Oh, I forgot. I got a package in the post from Mike. I didn't even do a video, so I'm going to do it now. Got a box. I've cut it. A quick box opening. A yabo. There we go. Really appreciate the trade for the Mature Virginia. There are a few others in the package for you to try as well. Cool. All the best, Mike. Gamecock Piper. So we have a package. So Mike and I put out I don't remember when it was, saying that I was looking for some McBaron's Mature Virginia. Which is it this stuff? No, that's Dark Twist. But anyway, Mike said he's going to send me some pouches, and I'm going to send him some stuff. You can see the stuff here, Mike, by the way. I've bottled it up because it came in bulk, and I wanted it to stay fresh. So I've bought some bottles, the really neat bottles. I bought, these I bought in Lakeland. I was talking about these earlier on. Beautiful size for a 50 gram, and these I bought from GQ Tobaccos, and I took the sticker off the little baggie that they send it in, stuck it on the bottle, and jobs are good. Perfect for 50 grams. So those will be on their way in due course. So, good evening, Mo Piping. Thank you very much for your VR. So we have 3 pouches of Mature Virginia. These feel like they're not quite 50 grams. Are these what weight are these? Do you know, Mike? Are these 40 grammers? Does that mean it's 2010? Can you guys see the date? Does that make it a 2010 date there? Yeah, it says 0.88 ounces. I don't know what that converts to. Yeah, Mature Virginia is quite rare now. There is a tin available on Pipe Stud, but he wants a lot of money for it. He wants $50 or so. I've had it in my basket a few times, but I've resisted. And we have some GLP's Union Square. That's one of the ones which I've wanted to try. That looks like a nice broken flake. Is this a vapor? It smells like very grassy Virginia-y with a little bit of a peppery note to it, and not so much sweet fruit like other Periques. Red Virginia, okay. And then we have some Red Virginia flake from Wessex. Lande Deutsch, thank you for joining. My nose is a bit off tonight. I might have a bit of man flu developing. Or should I call it person flu? Crazed Knight, thank you for joining. Oh, I've just flipped off my mic. 1 second, mic. There we go. Alright, we're waffling on for long enough. So, once again, currently into Haunted Bookshop and a few aromatics. Want to venture out to other types, but not sure what to try. Well, if you're smoking Haunted Bookshop, you must be used to some pretty strong stuff. Are you a cigarette smoker? Excuse me. Used to be, yeah. It's a really tough one to say what should you try. Every person's different. Where are you based, Daniel? Which country are you in? Canada. Okay, so you've got some really high taxes there, really expensive tobacco. Well, full Virginia Flake is a very nice tobacco to start with. It's really quite light, in my experience. But I'm not sure that you want to start with that personally, because I think to get the best out of it, I think you want to give your palate a chance to learn to appreciate. The live started just over an hour ago, and I said I'd be on for about an hour because I've got to get up early tomorrow. But we're over an hour already. To my personal palate, I found that full Virginia Flake I appreciated further down the line. When I first tried it the first time, it was like smoking a cigarette. But when your palate has smoked a variety of tobaccos and it starts to appreciate nuance in pipe tobacco, it's like with cigars. When I first started smoking cigars, all cigars tasted the same to me, and it was only after smoking more and more and smoking different cigars that my palate started to recognize differences between one cigar and another. It does take time. A tobacco which I recommend a lot for starters, for beginners, is Erinmore. You've heard me say this before. I find that Erinmore is a good tobacco. It's got a good tobacco flavor, and it has a very light-handed topping. For me, it's a fruity, pineapple-y kind of flavor. Other people get different flavors, but there you go. The YTPC at its greatest. Daniel, get in touch with Mo Piping. He's offering you some samples. Deutschland is a tobacco paradise, absolutely. Erinmore shouldn't be too hard to find, surely. Capstan, it's been a while since I tried Capstan. I do have an open tin which I'm looking at right now in my tin, in my Tupperdoor. My sound no good at the moment. Jimmy Tabaki, thank you for joining. I'm doing very well this evening. Thank you for joining. Is the sound okay, people? Oh, it's okay. All right, fine. Maybe I brushed the microphone again. If I did, sorry about that. Best Brown Flake is really nice. It's I find Best Brown Flake is actually not a bad call. It's a good shout, actually. If you can get Best Brown Flake, I don't know what how easy it is to get Samuel Goworth blends in Canada. Best Brown Flake is good. I find it to be less complex than full Virginia Flake, but the flavor is more readily perceivable. So I find it to be quite a nice malty sweetness to it. But it's also quite a reserved smoke. But it's a good first shot. McBaron Roll Cake, I do have an aged tin which I haven't cracked yet, so I haven't tried it. The one which I'm smoking most of the time is, well, is this the one you mean, Dark Twist Roll Cake? This one I am smoking a lot of. I thought there was another one called Roll Cake. I don't know. I've got an old tin which says Roll Cake on it, which I haven't cracked yet. But this stuff I am smoking quite a lot. I think I do have one somewhere. I've got this one, which is roll cut. Is this the one you mean? And then you've got Stockton roll cake. I think roll cake is just the cut. I don't think it's a blend. It's just the presentation of the tobacco, in my humble opinion. There's Dark Twist, also called roll cake. These are older tins. It is, but I think roll cake is a presentation. I think a few of the blends have got roll cake written on the tin. My favorite pipe. Ask any piper that question. It's going to be a tough question, that, because each day brings a different mood and a different wish for a pipe. But I have narrowed it down to 5 in the past. I'm not sure if it's still the same, but certainly this one is going to be in the top there somewhere, which is a Bentley Pipe by Former, designed by Former, and it just smokes superbly well. I smoked it earlier this evening with some Christmas cheer. This is going to be also one of my top pipes, which is a Parker Billiard. This was a basket pipe, paid very little for it. One of my best smokers. I don't know. Stanwell. This is one of my favourite pipes to smoke. The Escorti's in there as well. Yeah, I did a top 5 video not long ago. I think the Escorti was in there. The Nirut Bulldog is not one of my favourite pipes. It was for a while. It's a lovely pipe to look at, but in terms of smoking, it's not my favourite pipe. A basket pipe is basically when you go into a shop, and they'll often have a basket on the till, on the counter, of their sort of, maybe there'll be seconds or just cheaper end pipes, usually, you know, $15, $20, $30, something like that. Hector has very good taste. Ashtons are really good. I've got a couple of Ashtons flying around. Well, I don't know what error there could be on this Parker pipe. I really don't. It smokes fantastically well. It's got a beautiful grain on it. I really don't know what could have been wrong with this pipe. And I did get it converted. Somebody did ask about how I convert pipes. I don't convert them myself, although that's something which I'm going to try and learn how to do whilst I'm on my journey with pipe making. But essentially, if there's enough girth, if there's enough diameter on the pipe, it's a matter of drilling a 9mm, well, it's probably about an 11mm hole or 12mm hole, so that the filter can go in, and you have to add a 9mm peg. So people who really know what they're doing and can center it properly, they just add one of these, they drill through on the stem and add one, glue it in, and that's it, you're done. The difficulty is being able to drill it so it's exactly central, and that it lines up again when you attach the stem. But on some of my pipes I've just had to have new ones made. So for instance, on this Boswell I had converted, and he just made me a new, this was also done by Moretti, and he just made me a new stem, and in fact this stem is probably better than the original. The pipe has become far more balanced as a result. It's a fairly weighty pipe, but being a Boswell, it smokes very well. Savinelli. We have a Savinelli here. There's a Savinelli in my giveaway, which we're going to be giving away tonight. This is my, I think, the second pipe I ever bought, 606, and I've smoked mostly Cult Blood Red Moon in this. It's got a very big bowl. I could smoke for 2 hours with this bowl, easily. Alright, so did anybody answer? Do you want to see the prizes again? Or should I just go straight for the drawing? Oh, Jimmy, good question. In the States, I don't know. You could try somebody like Cane Rod, or you could try somebody like Briarville Rick. He may well be able to do conversions. They're both, you know, really experienced people who do pipe work, so you might try them. Sorry, George, but you're not in, I'm afraid, unless you did a VR. This is a giveaway which has been on my channel for a few weeks. It's not an impromptu giveaway. So this is for a list of people who have entered into the giveaway. Sorry, George, as much as I would like to. Alright, I'm going to quickly run by the prizes so you get an idea of what you could win. And if you don't win, you can get an idea of what you could have won. Look what you could have won. So we have a tin of Dunhill Navy rolls. And we have a tin of Three Nuns Green. A tin of St James's Woods, McClellan's. We have Elizabethan Dunhill. Crumble Cake Vapor, it's from Saturday. And we have a host of cigars. Gurkha, Suvi, another Gurkha, Yakuza, Flore de Copain. Somebody gifted this to me. I think it was Izzy actually. And Undercrown, Brickhouse Maduro. And we have a Nostrano, which I got in Venice when I was there. And of course we have the pipe. We have a Savinelli, which has been smoked a couple of times but is in mint condition, comes with all the paraphernalia. You got the doodahs in there, the filters. And this beautiful billiard, which is the 128 shape, classic billiard, 9mm. But you can of course put an adapter in there if you don't want to use it with 9mm, or you could just leave it. I mean, I don't know why people make such a big issue about smoking it without the adapter. You could smoke a 9mm perfectly well without putting the adapter in, and it kind of ends up as a mini reverse calabash, really. I don't see a problem with it, personally. I've smoked this pipe many times. In fact, 99% of the smokes I've smoked in here without anything, without a filter and without an adapter. Okie dokies. Let's put this back in the bag. Boo-hoo-hoo for Sam. Sam, it might be a lucky night tonight. You might even have to say thank you, Sam. You never know. If you win tonight. No. All right, let's read this through once more, people. Just keep the suspense going a little bit longer. Right, number 1, Road Glide Sully. 2, is he, or isn't he, Happy-Go-Lucky Piper. Number 3, Sweet Chicken, Garbage Man Piper. Number 4, Pipe and Tobacco, Yanis. Number 5, Tim, Wolf Valley Boy. And that really sounds like a top 10 thing. Wolf Valley Boy at number 5. Number 6 is Tobacco Pipes International. Number 7 is the Cherry. And you know where it is? It's on the top. Number 8, Cobbett of the Shire, Stephen. Grandpops, YTPC Grandpops, even if he is clean shaven. Number 9 is The Tree. Number 10 is Harriet Herfer. Art, if you're listening, it's not Heifer, it's Herfer. Number 11 is Piper Hips. Number 12 is Mo Piping. Number 13, Andrew Sirigliano. Number 14, Dale Piper. Number 15, Sam. 15, Sam, is that okay? Is that lucky enough for you? I can put you back to 13 if you want. So 15 is Sam. Number 16 is Curmudgeon Piper. An awesome video from Curmudgeon people. Go check it out. Number 19 is Tallest Piper. Number 20 is Pipes and Spirits, Art. Number 21 is Hector, Quaker Piper. Number 22, Dance Dad Piper, DDP. Number 1 digit away, DDP. Close. Number 23, Kevin Twiner. Kevin and Marsha. I think we should call them Kevin and Marsha. The Lovebirds. 24, Four-Eyed Piper. 25, Dublin Pipe. There we go, people. You're not supposed to give out the answers, Kevin. Who's 13? Andrew Sirigliano. Sirigliano. Right, where's my other phone? 17 and 18. Hang on. You're absolutely right. I've missed out 17 and 18. Can I leave it like this, or should I renumber? I'll do as I'm told. You're right, Sam. I didn't know what you were on about, to be honest. But that's my grey cells at 10 to 1 in the morning. I should leave it. It's fate, right? That's how it was. That's how it's written. Re-roll if on either of them. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it could come up. You're quite right. Okay, we'll leave that up there. Where is me up? There we go. Tut, 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 tut. So we have 25. But we may well have to re-roll if 17 or 18 hit the jackpot. So we've got 1, 2, no, not 28, 25. All right. Come on, number 5. Harriet, you ready? Thank you, George. You beat Harriet to it. Okay, here we go. Go 20. Yes, Arthur's 20. All right, here we go. Just going to warm up the thumb. Is it the nail okay tonight, people? Are they clean enough for you? Nicely manicured? Okay. Here we go, people. On 3. 1, 2, and 3. 21, Quaker Piper. Hector, you got the last word and you won. Yes, it's you. It's you. Of course, I forgot to mention that anybody who's won a prize from me in the last few weeks doesn't actually get to enter into this competition. So, Hector, I'm afraid we'll have to rerun. You did get something from me not long ago, even though you paid for it, and you waited about a month for it. Never mind, we'll just have to rerun. So here we go. Uh, 1 to 25. No, just kidding. All right, Hector. Well done. Congratulations on the win. So at least now you'll have plenty of tobacco to keep you going. And the new pipe, of course. Very, very nice Savinelli. I don't know if you smoke cigars. Do you smoke cigars, Hector? Sam, you're off the hook. It's like that guy in The Godfather. Could you get me off the hook? For old time's sake. Mikey, could you get me off the hook? Have I ever used softy bits? I certainly did. I used softy bits in the beginning, probably for the first maybe 6 to 12 months. I don't remember. Take the cannoli. The Godfather is just stupendous. Anyway, yeah, I did, but after that amount of time, I then really wasn't enjoying them, and I took them off, and I smoke all my pipes as they are. And that's kind of why I don't like acrylic stems, and I tend to go for either ebonite or Cumberland. Cumberland is my favourite stem material. It's softer on the tongue. Hi Andy. No, I haven't ordered as yet. I've looked many times, but I haven't yet quite hit the button on ordering from Germany. I have got plenty of stuff on eBay Germany, on eBay. Lucite is pretty much acrylic, isn't it? But I'm not sure if I've actually smoked a lucite stem. I'm not sure. I have at times been very close to buying the Friday Savinelli, the is it the 673, is it called? Something like that. With the original lucite one, which matches smokes. But I've never actually gone ahead and done it. I'm not sure that I will anymore. But yeah, it's generally Cumberland or ebonite or vulcanite, that kind of thing. Everyone has one. Yeah, no, I actually like the idea of having one. It's not for that reason that I probably won't get one. It's for a number of reasons. Number one, that I can't get it with a Cumberland stem. Number two, I'm starting to make my own pipes, so I'm kind of getting to a stage where I'm kind of thinking to myself, there's no point in buying pipes now if I'm making my own. And you know, I was really so happy with the way this one turned out, and it smokes well, and I smoke it regularly, which is a sign in itself that you know, I can put out a pipe that smokes. The previous attempts that I made were okay, and I think it's definitely to do with the briar. I mean, this one was the one which I made before, which also came out well, and when I made it I was very happy with it, but I don't smoke it very much. It smokes okay, but I just don't smoke it that much. I don't know why. I should really. It's actually got a really good balance. I don't know, maybe I'll start to give away the pipes that I've made which I'm not smoking, and let some other people enjoy them. We'll see how we go. I have done quite a sizable order with the same place that I bought the briar for this pipe. So I should have 12 or 13 blocks coming in. And I've bought a similar amount of blank stems, which I'll be able to shape, and it's kind of shaped already. They're pressed stems, but you have to sort of finish them off. They have to be sanded and buffed and bent if you're going to bend them. So that's where I'm going at the moment. I'm still at the point of, do I get a drill press, do I get a lathe, but I'm now much closer to getting a lathe. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping to really pull the trigger during the course of the coming week on a lathe. So that's going to be a really, really big and exciting step in my pipe making journey. Daniel, have I smoked a meerschaum pipe? I have. I'm not a huge fan of meerschaum pipes. Some people are absolutely besotted with them because they do provide you with a dry, clean smoke. I've got a couple. I've had several in the past which I haven't kept. I've got two at the moment, one of which I smoke every so often, which is the Pipe Club of London one from 2018. An absolutely stunning pipe. I've shown it many times. Where are we? If I've got it to hand, I'll show it to you. I have. So this is the 2018 club pipe from the Pipe Club of London. Cheers, Cherry, thanks for joining. And this one actually smokes very, very well. And I've got another meerschaum made by the same maker, which I haven't really smoked it enough to say if I like it or not. But I just prefer briar. You know, we each have our own preferences, and I just generally prefer briar. I mean, it could be that if I smoked it more, that I learned to like this more. It's like that with most things. The reason they're in the case, all meerschaums should be in a case, and if you're buying from a reputable place, it will come in a case. It's because it's very, very fragile. The bowls, it's like a ceramic kind of thing, but they're very. If I knock this on the desk, it very possibly will break. So it's not like wood, which nothing's going to happen to it if you bash it. You drop this, that's it, you're done. So they're all in cases. Good night, Boris. Thanks for joining. Jimmy, Simon, Sheraton Rolls, you got to hook me up, man. Can't get it here, help. Really, honestly, Jimmy, I know the feeling. I've been there with having to have certain tobaccos, but you really don't have to worry about it too much. You get yourself some luxury bullseye flake and you're good to go. It's pretty much the same stuff. There's only one special way that I know of colouring a clay pipe, and that is smoking it. George? Why, thank you, Jimmy and Daniel. Very nice of you to say so. In America, if you're in America, Daniel, or whoever it was that asked about the Navy rolls, Jimmy, about the Sheraton rolls, there's a whole host of those types of tobacco that you can buy in the States. You can, as I said, you can buy the luxury bullseye flake. You can also buy the medallions by Davidoff. There's lots of vapors which are presented in a coin style. I find that the Davidoff ones are a little bit milder, but certainly you can go for the, as I said, the oh dear me, you can go for the luxury bullseye flake. You could go for Camoys cask. I think it's cask number 7, but I might be wrong. But one of the casks presents as a coin like that. I think it's also got a bullseye, a Cavendish bullseye. And there is also a Peter Stockerby, I think. No, Peter Heinrich, sorry. A Peter Heinrich, which is the same as well. Oh, there's loads. There's another company which produces something, they call it Roundels. I can't remember what they're called now, but they're called Roundels, something Roundels. There's loads of them, and they're all very, very similar. So really don't worry about having to get a particular one. Do I dedicate certain pipes to different tobaccos? I dedicate certain pipes to genres of tobaccos. I don't know the answer to that, Morgan. In terms of Camoys tins, I haven't got any, so I don't know. I think with clays, by heating them up, what it does is whatever dirt is inside them just becomes like ash and it just drops out. Good night, Harriet. Thanks for joining. No, they're not waxed like a meerschaum. Yeah, you could use paint, but why would you? Where was I? Yeah, so dedicating certain pipes to certain tobaccos. So, generally speaking, my Virginias and Virginia Periques, I use a group of pipes. For Latakia pipes, in other words, for Latakia blends, I use a certain group of pipes, and I won't use them for anything else, generally speaking. And aromatic pipes, I'll use for aromatic tobaccos. But on the odd occasion that I might smoke a burley, I'll smoke those in my Virginia pipes. But generally, that's my groupings. I have Virginias and vapor pipes. I use as one group. I have Latakia-based blends in another group of pipes. And aromatics, I've only got the odd one or two for aromatics because I very rarely smoke them. Maybe 3 pipes I've got for aromatics. But the rest, the vast majority nowadays are for Virginias and vapors. I've got about 4 or 5 for Latakia blends. Whereas a year or two ago it was the opposite way around. The majority of my pipes were for Latakia blends, and now it's the other way around. Does a certain type of tobacco smoke better in a certain bowl shape? Well, I was fixing to go to bed. I've got an early-ish start, so can't go to bed too late. Cisco, how you doing, man? Long time no see. Thank you for joining. How you doing? So going back to the shapes, I personally have not really put a great deal of focus on that, although a lot of people do say that they see a lot of difference, and people talk about tall narrow bowls being good for Virginia flakes, for instance, and that to some extent you can understand, because if they've got flakes and they're folding and stuffing, it makes sense. But the only shape pipe that I've seen in my own experience, and don't forget, I haven't been smoking for years and years, I've been smoking a pipe for just over 3 years. Thank you, Cisco. I really appreciate that. I enjoy yours too. Haven't seen one of yours for a while though. Cisco76, by the way, people, he's one of the old guys. He's been on the YTPC for a very long time. Very kind and generous, warm-hearted person, doing a lot to help out the widow of a fellow piper who passed away a couple of years ago, selling off pipes and giving the proceeds to his widow. A really cool guy, generous guy. Check out his channel. Where was I? What were we talking about, people? What was the last question? Yes, the shapes. So the only shape that I've seen a difference in is with Latakias. Well, let me put it this way. If you want to... There you go. There's your answer. You see Mike's comment. Check out JD Smoking Pipes. Another very cool pipe carver. I've noticed with this particular pipe that I do get more flavour. When you go to round the bowl, this is about a 24mm. It's one of my widest diameter bowls. The more sort of surface of the char that you've got burning at any one time, the more, if you've got a blended tobacco, the more flavours you're going to experience. Other than that, I can't say that I've noticed a great deal of difference. I'm sure people like Jerry smoking Grandpa Bones, these guys have been smoking for a lot longer than me. Cisco, they can answer these questions better than me. How long does it take from start to finish to make a pipe? Well, that really depends on the pipe you're making, but and how much you want to sand. Sanding takes a long time. When you get past the main stage of shaping the pipe, whether it's on a sanding wheel or on a lathe or whatever it might be, sanding by hand afterwards to a fine, smooth finish, that takes quite a bit of time. And I haven't made pipes from scratch yet. I haven't made a pipe from a block. I've made the pipes from kit blocks. So the chamber will have been drilled and the draft hole will have been drilled. And on this one in particular, this one, it came with a stem as well. Whereas this one, I got it as a block, but it was pre-drilled with a hole, a 9mm hole, but the stem I fitted. So the stem was a pressed stem, which I had to sand down and get it sort of nicely shaped and buff and whatever, shine up. I bent it as well, but that's as far as I've gone in terms of stems. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Quaker. Night, Tim. Thanks very much for joining. I think I'm going to call it a wrap now as well. It's getting late, and I can feel a bit of a cold coming on. So I need to get a decent night's sleep. Thanks everybody for joining. Kevin, Marsha, Josh, Grumpy Old Geezer, Tree, Daniel, Leslie, thank you very much for joining. We're on every Saturday night. If you want to, got some more questions, by all means, please do join us. And we're on live, and there's plenty of other people who go on live these days as well, who can give you plenty of information. But thank you very much for joining. It was good to have a chat. And if you've only just started the channel, welcome to the YTPC. Andy Lucas, Smoking Grandpa Bones, Cisco76, thanks for joining. Mike, Gamecock Piper, Andy Lucas, Kevin, we've done all those. Dale Piper, Quaker Piper, Harriet, George, Morgan Steele, and everybody else. Thank you very, very much for joining. Congratulations, Hector, again. Well done on the win. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week at a similar time. Thank you for joining, and I will catch you on the very next one. Dublin, you're in at the last, but you didn't win, I'm afraid. But thank you for taking